Good evening, Scott here, known as Cantaloupe to some online, and I'm bringing a video to you on a subject that's interesting to me. It might be of interest to you or someone you know. And I want to talk about cults. I have briefly mentioned this in other videos, but I want to revisit the idea and what I consider a pretty good definition of cults, because the term is used kind of loosely if you listen to it, and people use it a lot. They use it usually as an insult or something derogatory, something not flattering towards some group or religion. And there's actually, I think, a pretty good metric to decide what is a cult and what isn't. And it might be helpful to somebody if they're thinking about it or if they've ever been curious or confused about it. So a cult starts with the cult leader. Maybe we can agree on that. A cult has a cult leader. It's kind of a feature of it. It's built in, part of the definition, if you ask me. What is a cult leader? How does a cult leader differ from an actual leader, like a legitimate leader? Hopefully we're in agreement also that leaders exist that aren't untoward necessarily, that can, do a good job and be honest and upstanding, so to speak. Well, there you have it. A cult leader, by definition, I think, is someone who serves themselves primarily. They advertise that they're serving the people when they are actually having and implementing self-service. Turns out when you're a follower or an employee, citizen, even anybody with a leader ahead of you or mentor, there's two modes that you can be operating under. You can be extending yourself and being in the process of empowerment, being empowered by the leader, that is, instructed or guided or educated by someone who is being paid or just has an interest in your upbringing and growth and development. Or in the case of cult leaders, somebody who is using you to extend their own status, their own position, their own access, and their own comfort. That is to say that they are, selfish. They're using you to extend their own self. That is really the entire difference, if you ask me. As far as, other details such as spirituality, rules and, dogma or doctrines and whatnot, I think that, every spiritual group has debatable, arguable, questionable ideas, and that's okay. I mean, you don't have to agree with everything necessarily. You don't have to buy into it. But those aren't the determining characteristics, the qualifications of a cult. It's really about whether or not you're extending a leader versus extending yourself by way of a benevolent leader. It's kind of that easy. I think. Are they unscrupulous? Are they lying, cheating, and stealing? Are they bamboozling you? Are they manipulating you for personal gain? Are they delusional? All of these are features of a cult leader, if you ask me. So if you agree or disagree, please feel free to reach out with questions or comments to whitehotrobot@gmail.com. Thank you.